Secret Wild Santa Horror Story. The tradition of Secret Santa had been a staple at Riverside Elementary School for 23 years, a cheerful way to build community among staff members during the busy holiday season. But this year, when Principal Margaret Foster pulled names from the decorated box in the teacher's lounge on December 1st, she unknowingly unleashed something that would transform a beloved tradition into a nightmare. Beth Carmichael was a fourth-grade teacher, 32 years old, and generally loved the Secret Santa tradition. She participated every year since joining the school staff 5 years ago. This year, she drew a name she didn't recognize, Nicholas Wilde. Who's Nicholas Wilde? Beth asked the other teachers gathered around. Is he new? Margaret frowned at the slip of paper. That's odd. I don't remember putting that name in. Must be a mistake. Draw another one. But when Beth reached into the box, every slip she pulled had the same name, Nicholas Wilde. After the fifth identical slip, the other teachers stopped laughing nervously and started exchanging concerned glances. This isn't funny, Margaret said, looking around. Who's playing a prank? Everyone denied involvement, and the unease in the room grew thicker. Finally, Margaret made a decision. Beth, just do your best. Maybe buy something generic that anyone would like. We'll sort this out later. That night, Beth researched the name Nicholas Wilde in connection with the school. What she found made her wish she'd refused to participate. Nicholas Wilde had been a janitor at Riverside Elementary from 1954 to 1976. He was known for being kind to students, always dressed in red during December, and was beloved by everyone, until December 23, 1976, when he was found dead in the school basement, specifically in the old boiler room that had since been sealed off. He'd been crushed by a fallen shelf of supplies. The death was ruled accidental, but rumors persisted that Nicholas had been murdered by a jealous colleague who then staged it to look like an accident. The disturbing part was what happened after his death. For years, staff members reported seeing a man in red wander in the halls at night, heard whistling of Christmas carols when no one was there, and found mysterious gifts left in their classrooms. Gifts that were always perfect, as if the giver knew exactly what they wanted most. The phenomena stopped in 1999 when the school underwent renovations, and the old basement was permanently sealed. No one had reported seeing or hearing anything unusual since. Until now, the first gift appeared in Beth's classroom on December 3rd. She arrived to find a small wrapped box on her desk, tagged with her name in old-fashioned handwriting. Inside was a vintage bookmark, an exact replica of one she'd lost as a child, a favorite from her grandmother. Beth's hands trembled as she held it. There was no way anyone could have known about this bookmark. She'd never mentioned it to her colleagues, never posted about it online. Yet here it was, impossibly recreated down to the tiny coffee stain in the corner. This is just a coincidence, Beth told herself, though her voice lacked conviction. The second gift came on December 5th, a music box that played Silent Night, the same music box her mother had owned, sold at an estate sale after her mother's death 3 years ago. Beth had tried to buy it back, but had been too late. Now it sat on her desk, playing that hauntingly familiar tune. Beth confronted Margaret. Someone's doing this. Someone's researching me, finding out personal things. This isn't funny anymore. Margaret looked genuinely concerned. Beth, I swear no one here would do that. Have you told anyone else about the gifts? Beth hadn't. She'd been too unnerved. But that night, she stayed late at school, determined to catch whoever was leaving these disturbing presents. At 11 p.m., the school was dark and silent. Beth sat in her classroom with the lights off, watching the hallway through the door's window. The heating system ticked and groaned, settling into its nighttime routine. Beyond that, nothing. At 11:47 p.m., Beth heard it whistling. Jingle bells, played in a cheerful, slightly off-key whistle that echoed down the empty hallway. Beth's breath caught. The sound was coming closer. She peered through the window and saw a figure approaching. He wore red, not a modern jacket, but an old-fashioned janitor's uniform, the kind from decades past. He pushed a cleaning cart that squeaked rhythmically, and in his other hand, he carried a wrapped gift. The figure stopped at Beth's door, and she got her first clear look at his face. He was middle-aged, with kind eyes and a gentle smile, and he looked exactly like the photos she'd seen of Nicholas Wilde from the 1970s. "I know you're in there, Beth," he said, his voice warm but somehow hollow. "I have something special for you. Something you wanted for a very long time." Beth pressed herself against the wall, her phone in her hand, trying to dial 911 with shaking fingers. But the phone wouldn't work. No signal, battery indicator dropping rapidly despite being fully charged moments ago. The door handle began to turn, though Beth had locked it hours ago. "Don't be afraid," Nicholas said. "I'm Santa's helper. That's what the children used to call me. I always made sure everyone got what they wished for. Even now, even after all these years, I still fulfill wishes." "You're dead," Beth whispered. "You died 48 years ago." "Death doesn't stop Christmas," Nicholas replied, and now his voice sounded wrong, layered, like multiple voices speaking in unison. "Christmas is eternal. Wishes are eternal. And I have one more gift to give you, Beth. The gift you wished for when you were 7 years old. Do you remember? Do you remember what you asked for that Christmas?" Beth did remember. She'd been 7. Her little brother Tommy was 5, and he'd been diagnosed with leukemia. Beth had wished with all her heart for Tommy to get better, had written it in letter after letter to Santa, had begged every mall Santa she saw. Tommy had died on December 23rd, 1999, exactly 23 years after Nicholas Wilde's death. "No," Beth said, understanding flooding through her. "No, you can't. That's not possible." The door swung open, revealing Nicholas standing there with his gift extended. The wrapping paper was old, yellowed, as if it had been waiting decades to be opened. "Open it," Nicholas urged. "See what's inside. See what I've been keeping safe for you all these years." Beth didn't want to. Every instinct screamed at her to run. But her hands, moving of their own accord, reached for the package. Inside was a child's winter mitten, small blue, with a snowman pattern. It was a match to the one Tommy had been wearing when he died, the one they'd never found at the hospital, the one that had vanished mysteriously, leaving Beth's family to bury Tommy with only one mitten. "I found it," Nicholas said proudly. "I kept it safe. I knew you'd want it back." "How did you get this?" Beth demanded, tears streaming down her face. "Where did you find it?" "I take things," Nicholas said simply. "Little things. Things people wish they hadn't lost. And I keep them until the time is right to return them. But everything has a price, Beth. You wish for your brother to get better. I can make that happen. I can bring him back." "That's impossible. He's been dead for 24 years. "Is it?" Nicholas's smile widened, and now Beth could see that his teeth were too white, too perfect, like porcelain. "Death is just another door. I crossed it. Others can too. I can bring Tommy back. He'll be 5 years old again, healthy, happy, just like you wished all those Christmases ago. All you have to do is take my place." Beth's blood went cold. "What?" "Someone has to fulfill the wishes," Nicholas explained patiently. "Someone has to collect the lost things, deliver the gifts, make sure Christmas continues. I've been doing it for 48 years. I'm tired, Beth. I want to rest. But the tradition must continue. Take my place, and I'll give you what you wished for. Your brother, alive and well." Beth looked at the mitten in her hands, thinking of Tommy's laugh, his smile, all the years they could have had together. Then she looked at Nicholas Wilde, trapped for nearly 5 decades, bound to this school, forced to fulfill an endless cycle of wishes. No, Beth said firmly, dropping the mitten. Tommy's gone. He's at peace. I won't disturb that, and I won't condemn myself to your fate. Nicholas's face contorted with rage. You must. I need to rest. The wishes never stop. Every year, more children, more teachers, more wishes. I can't do it anymore. Then stop, Beth said. Let go. Move on. You don't have to do this anymore. I can't. Nicholas's form began to flicker, becoming transparent. I'm bound. The tradition binds me. Unless someone takes my place, I'm trapped here forever. Beth felt a sudden understanding. The secret Santa tradition. That's what binds you. That's how you're anchored here. Nicholas nodded desperately. When they started it in 1999, the year your brother died, they unknowingly gave me power again. The exchange of gifts, the wishes, the secrets. It feeds me, sustains me, but also imprisons me. Beth pulled out her phone, which was suddenly working again. She called Margaret. Wake everyone up. Emergency staff meeting. Now. It took 3 hours to get all the teachers to the school, and another hour for Beth to convince them that what she was saying was true. Nicholas appeared to them all, pleading, threatening, bargaining. Some teachers were terrified. Others thought they were experiencing group hysteria. But in the end, they voted. The Secret Santa tradition at Riverside Elementary ended that night, December 5th, 2023. The effect was immediate. Nicholas Wilde's form became more transparent, his voice fading. Thank you, he whispered as he disappeared. Thank you for releasing me. The old boiler room in the basement, sealed for decades, was opened during the winter break. Inside, they found Nicholas Wilde's real body, never properly buried, trapped behind a collapsed shelf exactly as the reports had said. He was given a proper funeral, his name added to a memorial plaque in the school hallway. The gifts in Beth's classroom vanished, including Tommy's mitten. Beth was sad to see it go, but also relieved. Some things were meant to stay lost. Some wishes were never meant to be fulfilled. The school started a new tradition, a Winter Wishes program where students and staff made donations to charity in each other's names. No more Secret Santa. No more binding traditions that could trap desperate spirits. Beth kept one thing from that night, a photograph of Nicholas Wilde from the 1970s, smiling at the camera in his red janitor's uniform. She hung it in her classroom with a small caption, Nicholas Wilde, 1925 to 1976. May he finally rest in peace. Sometimes on December nights, Beth thought she heard whistling in the halls. But it was different now, lighter, happier, free. Not the sound of someone trapped, but of someone finally able to move on. The Secret Santa might have ended, but the real gift, the gift of release, of peace, of letting go, that was something worth giving and receiving.